This is Energized, a podcast about simple ways you can improve your energy. I'm Dina, a naturopath, personal trainer and wellness coach with 14 years experience working with a wide range of clients to help improve their health, fitness and overall energy. Hello and welcome to this week's episode of Energized. Thank you so much for being here. I am talking all about what to do if you wake up feeling tired. As usual, just my general health disclaimer, while I'm a qualified naturopath and personal trainer, anything that I talk about in this podcast is general in nature. If you'd like some individualized advice, please jump on my website, dinasavitz.com, and book in for a consultation. So, what should you do if your energy levels are so low that you are literally waking up on a morning feeling exhausted and you can't get out of bed? My first thing that I would say to you is don't rely on coffee or other forms of caffeine to wake you up. Next week, I'm going to talk about coffee and energy, whether it's helpful or not. So make sure you tune in to that episode. But today, I thought I would give my top 5 tips for what you can do if you are someone who is waking up feeling tired and feeling like you can't get up out of bed. So my first tip, after you are not relying on coffee, I'm not going to count that as a tip. That's just the first thing that I tell my clients, try not to use coffee to get you up on a morning. But my first tip is to get outside for some morning light and try to avoid any screens. So I know that it's common for a lot of people to get woken up by an alarm, and often it's a phone alarm. So if you can, then invest in another alarm, a radio clock or something similar that will just wake you up with some beep, 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 or a song or something that's not your phone. I prefer that your phone is not in your room, or if it is in your room, that it's on airplane mode and it's not the first thing that you look at when you wake up, because your phone is emitting blue light. And when you wake up, you want your body to be exposed to natural light, because what that does is it helps your body produce your hormones naturally. So blue light, we know, has an effect on melatonin. And while that's not such an issue on a morning, because that's not when you're going to sleep, going outside and getting some morning light, direct sunlight, hitting your eyes will naturally help to activate cortisol and other hormones that help you wake up on a morning. So that's the first tip. Try and get outside for morning light. My second tip is to prioritize breakfast. So sometimes you can wake up feeling tired with no appetite as well, but there's a lot of different views on whether someone needs to eat breakfast or whether it's the most important meal of the day or not. And I don't want to go into that now, but I will say that if you are someone who wakes up feeling tired, then making sure that you eat a good quality breakfast that has some type of protein as well as some veggies or some fruit in there as well will help you have better energy levels during the day and will also help to wake you up a little bit. My third tip is if you're waking up feeling tired, then it's likely that your sleep needs improving. If you're someone who sleeps a lot and still wakes up feeling tired, or if you're someone who's not sleeping very much and wakes up feeling tired, in both cases, episode 3 of my podcast is to learn how to sleep well and wake up feeling refreshed. So if you haven't listened to that one, I highly recommend going back and having a listen to that, because it can give you some tips for improving your sleep, which will inevitably help you rest deeper. And then when it's time to wake up, your body will naturally start to produce the hormones that will signal to your body that it's time to wake up and get out of bed. My fourth tip is to delay your coffee or tea. So if you are someone who does enjoy some caffeine on a morning, that's totally okay, but try to delay it by at least an hour after you wake up. And if you're thinking at the moment you're someone who wakes up and needs your coffee straight away to get you going, then I recommend my 5th tip, which is to exercise as soon as you wake up, with or without food before. So if you are someone who needs food before you exercise, just grab an apple or a banana, a couple dates, something that's small, that's going to give you some carb to help you have the energy to exercise. Or if you're someone who doesn't need food before exercise, then go for it. Just get outside, or if you can't go outside, then just do some type of exercise inside. And if you want to know what exercise is best for increasing your energy, then episode 14 of this podcast is all about that. So I highly recommend having a listen to that episode. So there you go. They're my 5 tips for what to do if you wake up feeling tired. Just a refresh. Number 1 is to get outside for some morning light. I talked about this also in a previous podcast episode, that the sun rays or the light that is emitted at sunrise, so if you want to get up a little bit earlier and watch the sunrise, that will also help you have some more energy during the day, and it will help wake you up. So it's specific light that gets produced at that time that helps you increase your energy and not feel so tired. So number 2 is to prioritize breakfast. Number 3, to improve your sleep. Number 4 is to delay your morning coffee or tea. And number 5 is to do exercise first thing on the morning, with or without eating beforehand. I would love to know if you try these 5 things and if they help you wake up having a little bit more energy and not wake up feeling so tired. Connect with me as usual on Instagram. I'm at Dina Sabbats, or send me an email. I'd love to hear from you, dina@dinasabbats.com. Now to the herb of the week. So if you have tried all of these 5 things and you are still waking up feeling tired, then this week's herb of the week is definitely a herb that I would recommend trying. I have personally used it a lot myself, and I also prescribe it a lot for clients in their herb mixes. And even if you wanted to try it alongside my 5 tips, then I highly recommend doing that as well. And the herb is called astragalus. So just a note about astragalus, there's a mixed opinion about this, but generally it's not to be used when you have some kind of acute sickness, so a cold or something like that. It's generally used for chronic immune deficiency or chronic infection. It's also used for autoimmune disease. It is an amazing tonic and adaptogen, and they're the 2 actions that I would say really help to have an effect on the body so that you wake up on a morning not feeling so tired. It's really good for someone who is getting chronic illness. So if you find that you have been sick and then a couple weeks later you get sick again, and then a couple weeks later you're getting sick again, it can really help to shift that and stop that cycle of getting sick all the time. It's really good for preventing infections as well, and it can be helpful for poor immunity, debility and fatigue, leukopenia, chronic fatigue syndrome, fibromyalgia and post-viral syndrome. So again, that's where you are still feeling fatigue after being sick. So that could be a reason that you are waking up feeling tired. And the last thing that I'll say about astragalus is that it's used in combination with another herb called bupleurum for pelvic organ prolapse. So I have used it for quite a few clients effectively to help support them alongside lifestyle treatments as well as exercises. But yeah, it's something that's not so well known, but it can be used for that as well. As usual, jump over to Instagram and continue the conversation. I would love to know what you got from this podcast, and if you have tried astragalus before, or if you'd like to try it, then please get in touch and make an appointment. I make up liquid extracts in my clinic, and astragalus is definitely one that goes into a lot of mixes, and it can be super beneficial for you. Have a beautiful rest of the week, and I hope that you wake up feeling energized.